windows. It's actually not me, or even necessarily the writing. I mean, it's definitely the writing. What I mean is, it's actually us. And there's a thing about when you watch somebody who you know is going to behave in a bad way, you've got such little store in them anyway, and they do something right. It does something to you, because you're like, my God, this person who I thought was devoid of all of those human qualities, there's a ray of hope there. And especially when they do something where nearly always their motivation is so selfish and so for themselves. If they do something for somebody else, it's very affecting. We kind of like it, to watch it, because it's unusual and exciting when you see somebody, I think, who plays their cards on someone very close to their chest, and you're like, I don't trust this, whatever, and then they do something selfless. It's more interesting than watching somebody who is selfless do selfless things all of the time, because we expect them to do that. So the opening little bit for me, I think, was actually I had periods of this even in 33 where I realized that he was a tragic figure rather than just a hated figure. I remember when the ship gets blown up, because you blow it up in 33, you know, Dr. So-and-so, Dr. Anorak or Amarak is on the other ship, and because they think they might be a silent infiltrator that has followed us.
Right.
Sorry. It was a long time ago, sorry to bring that up. But they were like, and we want to have shots, lingering shots on Mary in tears at the 1,500 people who've been killed, and Eddie in tears, and all of these people, and I remember putting my hand on going, well, hey, what about me? Why would, and I remember Michael Ryman looking at me going, well, why you? It's your fault. You're the one who, you know, your finger's really on the button. I went, yeah, but you can still feel dreadfully sad about that, can't you? Whose sadness is greater? But the big release for me, and I think everybody would agree, I had many more afterwards. There's two, actually. One, first of all, was telling Grace to kill herself in the first season, because it was horrible. And I could feel, in the sense of, he's telling her to kill herself because he wants to protect the ship. But his whole thing as a scientist was that you couldn't help it if you were a Cylon. It's like, you can't help it if you're a human being. So he was curiously devoid of hate, Gaius, in the whole mix of a lot of people with malicious ideals about who they're going to kill. And that really came out when he saw number 6, who was tortured. And that was the first time he was allowed to, on some real level, break down for somebody else. And the reason I could break down is because Trisha's acting was so phenomenal. It wasn't like we were acting. It wasn't. I thought I was like in a kind of Guantanamo situation, looking at somebody who'd been beaten up for 6 or 7 months, and it was very affecting for both of us, and I think it was a turning point in the character.